touchdown, Patrick Mahomes.
What a goal by Mia Hamm.
Jordan, look at that. Holy cow.
Somebody will roar this afternoon. It is an absolutely gorgeous afternoon for football. Temperatures supposed to be in the upper 60s, not a cloud in the sky. It is a great day for football. Auburn won the toss. They deferred. So Ole Miss will receive the opening kickoff as we get underway here in Oxford, Mississippi, Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. Marche Green and Miko McSwain back to return the kick for the Ole Miss Rebels. Kicking off is Matt Clark, who was one of the best kickoff men in the entire country. He hasn't had a kickoff return in quite some time for that youngster. We'll see what happens here. This one might be returnable. About 2 yards deep, it goes to McSwain. And Miko out to about the 20-yard line. And that is where the Ole Miss Rebels will set up. Well, certainly Will Muschamp and Tommy Tuberville, two defensive guys trying to mold this Auburn defense. And for more on that, let's go downstairs and check in with Dave Baker.
Yeah, Dave, you know, one of the things that Will Muschamp told us was being a good coach is knowing what you can't do. And what he's done, he's gone back and simplified this defense a little bit. He wants these guys to react and not think. Tuberville said they look faster this week than they had at any time this year, but what they've got to do is not let Brent Schaefer get outside. They want to flush him up the middle.
Well, we'll see here as Ole Miss opens up in the I formation. Fullback is Jason Cook. Tailback Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Handoff goes off the right side, and Ben Jarvis gets a couple out to the 22-yard line, brought down by Merrill Johnson. And that's the man that has to make it happen for Ole Miss offensively. If he's having a good day, Ole Miss is having a good day. Brent Schaefer completing less than 46% of his passes, less than 1,000 yards overall. He's made some good throws. He's made some bad throws. With his feet, he's always dangerous, but he has to be on in the passing game.
Absolutely, Dave. If he's not on, let me tell you, it's going to be a long day. Because as tough as Green Ellis is, number 6, he's still not that tough to carry this team like Brent Schaefer can.
Over the middle to Robert Lane. The first pass is complete. Down to the Auburn 42-yard line. Aaron Savage brings him down. And that is a big chunk of green grass for the Ole Miss offense on their first possession.
He drops back on the play, sees the tight end immediately right there. Look at him coming out of the backfield. He's wide open, no coverage on it. He had backer coverage. You can see a backer running with him, but that's not going to catch him.
A 40-yard pickup makes it first down and 10. Robert Lane has been out the last 2 weeks with a sprained knee, and they are glad to have him back. Then Jarvis Green Ellis inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line.
There's an audible on the line.
Schaefer lofts it up. Looking for Shea Hodge. It falls incomplete at the 10-yard line. Coverage by Jonathan Wilhite.
Wilhite had great, it's man-to-man coverage on the corner. That means that it's just one-on-one. He throws it high, and watch Wilhite almost comes down with this. I believe actually what happened on that play that Hodge may have broken it up. Look at him get his hands in there. But Wilhite in great position at his cornerback.
Third down and 8. 3 receivers near side. 5-man front for Auburn. Pump fake, Schaefer fires, out pattern, caught. Shea Hodge at the 30, and that will be spotted at the 28-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down.
And Dave, that may be the best pass I've seen Brent Schaefer make in the last 2 weeks. He's out in the corner. He just drills it to him. This is a hard throw. Look at the trajectory of it. And he throws it. Hodge goes up high, comes down with it. Help your quarterback out. And those are confident builders for Brent Schaefer.
And Dan Werner, the offensive coordinator. Little end around to Miko McSwain. He's got great speed. McSwain to the 10, 5, touchdown. Ole Miss, an 80-yard drive.
Left of your screen, you see him coming around on the play fake reverse action. Now, when he gets even right there, you talked about that great speed. Nobody's going to bring him down. A good call, because a lot of times you don't pick it up as quickly running the ball. I mean, should say passing the ball. He picks it up well, running it.
Joshua Sheen with the point after. The Ole Miss Rebels took the opening drive and marched it right down the field. Tommy Tuberville told us that this was not one of those games you can just brush off. In the Southeastern Conference, when you got to go on the road and you add in an early morning start, you better be ready to play.
You better believe it. That's why coaches always say, don't look ahead.
Kickoff taken by Tristan Davis. Flag comes down. A couple of them come back inside the 20. Davis brought down at the 25-yard line. Miko McSwain makes the tackle on the kickoff coverage after that touchdown run.
Blocking below the waist on the kicking team. Number 29, half the distance from the spot is a foul. First down.
That was interesting, Dave. What he did is he came down on that play and he dove at the legs of the blocker, and they called him for blocking under. That's Hiram White, number 29.
Well, here comes Brandon Cox, coming off an exceptional performance last week against Tulane. Al Borges, the offensive coordinator, told us it was great to have Brandon healthy. And it's, you know, you talk about ankles and knees with quarterbacks, and you don't really understand. A lot of times you overlook the impact it has on throws. You know, physically, he looks like he's okay out there, but it was affecting his throws until last week, and he was on 16 out of 19.
Absolutely. Coaches will tell you that quarterbacks throw with their legs.
Pass caught by tight end Tommy Trott. He's out over the 40 to the 41. This is an offensive line that has been banged up all season long, but coaches believe that last week some guys got healthy, and this is their best 5 at this point, and they feel good about their running game going into this contest. Handoff off the right side. Big hit. Kenny Irons. Wow. Stuck by Rory Johnson. Brian Brown will move into Jamarcus' spot at strong safety for this game. Complicated? We'll explain it. We've got a couple hours. Pass is caught at the 46-yard line. And that'll be good enough for a first down by Rod Smith. Ed Orgeron now in his second year at Ole Miss. 2-11 in the SEC.
Here he comes around here, Not a way to hit him. That's the way you get in there.
On a first down and 10. Auburn will go with a couple of tight ends. Single setback. Kenny Irons. In motion is Trott. Toss sweep. Wide side of the field. Kenny Irons cuts it back to the 40, to the 35, and that'll be a first down for Auburn. And Kenny Irons looks quite healthy on that run.
Well, Al Borges told us that he wanted a good, delicate balance as we see him there, the offensive coordinator, and he's getting it. Mixing up that pass, mixing up the run, and when you've got a Kenny Irons sitting back there, your pass can complement the run. Good blocks up front on that sweep. They got a lot of people out front. I saw King Dunlap, big guy, 77, was leading them.
6'8", 320, that's big.
Yeah, that's pretty good size.
Here's Irons running hard to the 32-yard line, a gain of a couple. Patrick Willis with the tackle for the Rebels.
Number 49. Look at the eyes. Slide along. You love the way he plays football. You see how square he stays? He doesn't turn and run where you overrun.
He had 13 stops last week against Arkansas. He and Rory Johnson have really come on. As, you know, you could arguably say the best tandem linebackers in the Southeastern Conference.
Well, you just love their fundamentals, Dave. They play so well. Run that line, slide, and step up.
Play clock ticking down. They get the snap off. Another toss sweep off the right side. Didn't get much, maybe 2 yards. Kenny Irons on that carry. Vicente DeLoach.
And Dave, you know, when I watched last week, I watched that gap defense that Ole Miss plays. They slide along the line. Everybody has a gap. They slide to the strength of the formation. And your linebackers scrape off it. It worked well last week. I know the score was terrible for Ole Miss, but the defense played hard last week. Here's the big one. 3rd down, 6.
Cox to throw, looks off one man, throws across the way, and that is shy of the first down. Catch is made by Courtney Taylor, brought down by Nate Banks, but he'll be about a yard shy. Offensive lineman up there looking over at Coach Tuberville saying, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. When you got the big hosses up front, they all weigh over 300 pounds. Hey, why not go?
And that's what they're going to do. An early decision by Tommy Tuberville here on the road on 4th and 1 from the 26-yard line.
Well, I can promise you one thing. There's going to be a lot of Ole Miss players up in the box. I wouldn't be surprised to see 8 or 9 up there, maybe even.
Well, how about 10?
They're all up. Look at that. Everybody's up there.
Handoff. Carl Stewart, the fullback, he falls forward over the 25-yard line, and that will be good enough for a first down. They'll spot it at the 24.
They're going off the left side. Got good blocks on the backside by Ben Grubbs and King Dunlap on that left side. So for Tommy Tuberville, it pays off going for it.
The Riverboat Gambler.
Yeah.
Decides to go ahead and gamble early in this one, and it works out.
Well, he's trying to get that momentum back that they lost on that first drive by Ole Miss.
Cox, ball batted in the air, and it falls incomplete. Tremaine McBride batted it in the air and then nearly had enough time to go pick it off.
Boy, McBride came so close to a huge turnover. You'll see him get up right there, tip the ball. Now look at this, back down on his feet, react back. Everybody yells fire.
Tremaine McBride out of Clarksdale, Mississippi.
I know that town.
I do too.
Yes, I know.
The Crossroads. Here's Taylor. Tries to make a man miss, can't do it. Gets a couple on the play. Charles Clark did a nice job defensively from his free safety position. Courtney Taylor, he's just a guy, as I talked to Tommy Tuberville about it on our call with him getting ready for this game, I said, I look down, Courtney Taylor's got 35 catches.
Snuck up on you, I think you said.
Yeah, and he says, well, one of the reasons is he only has one touchdown, so he doesn't get a lot of highlights and stuff like that. He's just been Mr. Consistency in his senior season at Auburn.
All right, big situation here for Ole Miss. You want to get pressure. If you're Auburn, you got to think of something quick, but you got to get to about the 13-yard line, get a first down.
Cox has time, fires over the middle, passes, caught.
Wow.
That looks like it's about at the 13-yard line by Brashay Rodriguez.
Boy, and Rodriguez did a great pattern on the play. You'll see right here that Brandon Cox looks at him. He's watching him all the way. When he made his break, he made it perfect.
Rodriguez now with 11 catches, if you add that one to those totals, and that was a big one to keep the chains moving and this drive alive. Power play to the right side. Brad Lester driving hard, got it down to about the 6-yard line before Clark comes in for that final hit. Overall in the red zone, Auburn 3rd in the SEC this year. Second down and 3. Toss sweep. Here's Lester, gets tripped up, falls forward inside the 5. They'll mark it at the 3-yard line. Nate Banks with a nice tackle.
This is his 4th tackle. Watch number 28 come up here and stick him. Look at this. Go low, keep that head up. Nice stick in there on Lester.
He is very dangerous. He has scored a touchdown at a rate better than anybody that's ever carried the football or touched the football at Auburn. He averages a touchdown every 10 touches.
It's amazing. And you see that name below, Bo Jackson. Wow, better than Bo.
1 out of 15. Now, of course, Bo touched it quite a few more times.
Yeah.
Timeout taken by the Rebels on a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. We will return to Oxford after a word from your local stations. Ole Miss fans are happy early. They lead 7-0 over the 7th-ranked Tigers, but Auburn knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line out of the I formation. Trot in motion. Here's Lester inside. Nowhere to go. The Auburn D won that battle.
Yes, they did. They came.
Or excuse me, the Ole Miss D.
I was going to say the Ole Miss D won that one. I watched number 48 going up over top. Watch this. Up over top. Look at him clawing to get in there. They play defense with a passion, Dave. But if they can hold them to a field goal try, that's what they're talking in the huddle right now. Keep them to a field goal try. That's a difficult task with this Auburn offense.
Tigers 2nd in the SEC in rushing. Sweep. Lester cuts it back. Not working on that play. Flag down Patrick Willis. The man to make the stop for the Rebels.
Boy, it's either 48 or 49. We talk about them jumping out at you, and they do. They play the keys so well. They read that center, read that initial block, and fly to the ball.
And the penalty will go against Auburn.
Watch him just fly to the ball. He's open, right? He's got it, right? Look at that flash coming in there. And you don't see Patrick Willis or Rory Johnson miss tackles. That's one thing they pride themselves on.
Holding. The 76 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
Take a look at our Hummer scoreboard. Some early action. Notre Dame up 10 on Navy. But back to that penalty, Dave. That's going to push the Tigers back outside the 10. It'll now be 2nd and goal from just inside the 13-yard line. Now, one thing it does, it gives you a little bit more options offensively.
Yeah, you can pass the ball now. You've got pass routes that are open, and you look for people like Courtney Taylor, top of your screen, one-on-one. They've got the possibility of getting wide open.
And they will throw it to the corner. Touchdown! Rod Smith with his 3rd touchdown catch of the season on 2nd and goal from the 13.
But watch on this play. You'll see Smith come off the left of your screen, coming across. Look at this, wide open. He makes that break, and nobody is close to him. And how about Brandon Cox? He knows that he can feel it.
Here comes John Vaughn for the point after. 97 straight PATs. He's only missed one in his career. I can't imagine there being a better scene than right here in Oxford on a fall afternoon for some SEC football. Right now, Rod Smith celebrating. The sophomore out of Snellville, Georgia, the walk-on with his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Caps off that 69-yard drive, a lengthy one, 7 minutes and 46 seconds.
Well, they controlled the clock on that drive, used a lot of running plays, completed passes, inbounds, ran that clock down.
Matt Clark's kick. This one will sail deep into the end zone. 1st down and 10 from the 20. Schaefer over the middle again. Passes caught. And there'll be more to come as Mike Wallace gets it across midfield down to the Tiger 43-yard line. Another sharp throw from Brent Schaefer. We haven't seen this all year.
Left-hand side of your screen, look at him come wide open. And this is the pass that Brent Schaefer throws so well. He did not throw it last week. It was that slant play. He loves him coming across his focus. Again, look at this. He throws a dart in there, and you can't just bump him and take him down.
38-yard pickup. Arkansas took away those inside throws last Saturday. Hand off to Green Ellis. Not much happening. 2nd down and 10. No gain on that last carry by Ben Jarvis. This pass is incomplete. Looking for Mike Wallace, a sophomore out of New Orleans, Louisiana. An issue last week, really, when you talk to Dan Werner, the offensive coordinator. You know, he said there were some throws there that Brent Schaefer didn't make, but on the other side of that, there were some throws he did make, and his guys didn't catch them.
Yeah, drops will kill you in a game, especially when you're fighting to come back. Initially, Arkansas scored that touchdown to set the tone, and I really thought that Ole Miss was going to come right back. They had an opportunity, but it didn't work. But you can't drop passes, Dave.
So that was Dan Werner up in the box, the offensive coordinator. 3rd and 9, pressure coming. Schaefer dropped back at the 48 by Will Herring.
Well, this is actually Brent Schaefer's mistake on the play. He moves out of the pocket. And over here, you're going to see the pressure come from the right side. Look at him come all the way around. That's Will Herring, 35. But Schaefer's got to get rid of that. He saw the pressure, moved away from it, got to get rid of it.
A loss of 6, and that'll bring up a punting situation. Rob Park will kick it away, averaging just under 40 yards per kick. A wobbly kick that Robert Dunn will let hit, and it will bounce out at the 5.5-yard line. So a long field coming up for this Auburn offense. 95 yards stare this Auburn offense right in the face.
Couldn't ask for anything better if you're a defensive player. You got to play with emotion. You got to get somebody breaking through. Drop them for a loss.
4-man rush. Play action over the middle. Carl Stewart wide open out to the 28-yard line.
Broken coverage on the play. Nobody comes that wide open unless it's a broken coverage. Now what happens on the play, and he actually sneaks right through the guard center gap right there, and he comes through. Now he's wide open. Look at him. He comes out. He's got backer coverage on it. The backer evidently blew the coverage. Everybody's got to be covered when you break that line of scrimmage.
Carl Stewart didn't play last week. One of those players taking a break because of some nagging injuries. Picks up 24 on that catch. Here's Irons off the left side. Nearly broke it. Falls forward, and Kenny a little upset. He didn't stay on his feet. I will say this about Kenny Irons, though, is that he will run through a brick wall.
Yes, he will. That's a good way to say it. Well, he's tough. He breaks tackles. He's a lot of motion, movement. Reminds me of a lot of those players I played with in the NFL.
This time, Ole Miss stands him up. Patrick Willis led the charge along with Rory Johnson. Those two will make a lot of stops today. 49 and 48 in blue. You will see a lot of those jerseys.
Absolutely. Boy, you look at the last 3 games. You talk about moving. Boy, came in late, got an opportunity to play, stepped right up and took over, Dave.
Yeah, Rory out of Hines Community College came in a couple of weeks late. Took him a while to get going, but once he cranked it up, he showed his ability against Vandy, where he had 16 total tackles, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. Not a bad way to break onto the scene in the SEC.
That's not a bad season for some.
Pressure comes. Cox over the middle again, wide open. That'll be another Auburn first down. Courtney Taylor with the reception inside the 40 down to the 39 of Ole Miss. Brian Brown finally makes the stop, but that middle of the field on both teams is wide open.
You see people on the right side of your screen. See them coming up in there? That's a blitz package. That's where you're bringing pressure, and it's going to open that up and compliment Brandon Cox for just sitting back there poised and reading it, Dave.
Well, that'll be the last play of the first quarter that has seen both teams move the football down the field. Auburn now with a solid drive. The first quarter of play tied at 7. Good first quarter, Dave. We saw one thing that glares that sticks out to me. That's a glaring recognition on my part, I might say, is the middle of the field is so open on both defenses. Why is that happening?
Well, when you bring pressure, Dave, and they brought pressure from the outside, you open up a natural hole there, and you have to compliment Brandon Cox for finding it, his receivers for picking it up.
Here's Brad Lester off that right side inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line. On 2nd and 5. Here's Lester again. That'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down. Lester, a guy that tweaked a groin last week against Tulane, didn't play very much, but coaches said it's not too bad, and of course he looks pretty healthy here this afternoon.
Yeah. You know, they have such good depth there. I mean, you start talking about depth with Kenny Irons and Brad Lester. They complement each other. There's no animosity there.
Don't forget about Ben Tate, 2 100-yard games by the true freshman.
Yep.
3rd down and 2, couple of tight ends for the Tigers.
Here's an audible on the line. That's interesting. You know, he had a run play called. You wonder if he checks it off into a pass. Nope.
Lester has to run hard to pick up that first down, and a major league collision. And Ole Miss came away with the football, but they'll blow the whistle. Play is over, but that'll be close to a first down. The man who led that Rebel defense was Rory Johnson.
Oh, what a stick, Dave. Watch 48 slide into the hole. Look at that. Stick him in there. Now drive those legs. Push him. Don't push him that way. Pull him back. Look at the drive. You see Lester's legs just digging. Boy, that was just tough. I don't think he got it.
Our yellow line did not lie.
Nope. I was going by the yellow line. That's what I was going by. You're right.
So it'll be 4th and inches, and Tommy Tuberville's already gone for it. And he's probably asking that guy, should I do it again? The guy's, sure, why not?
Yeah, yeah, that's the guy that holds the chain. Well, if you have running backs like Carl Stewart and Lester and Irons back there.
That should be 4th down. See, he's too involved talking to Tommy Tuberville. He's got to make it 4th down.
Hey, there he goes.
Look at that play selection, 23 rush. Al Borges said he'd like to be a little bit more balanced the way Brandon Cox is feeling, but right now they have certainly kept it on the ground, and I'm assuming they'll do that here on 4th and inches.
Look how tight this line is. Man.
Carl Stewart again. Pounds his way down to the 26-yard line, and that will be a first down. And Tommy Tuberville on the far side claps his hands in agreement, knowing his offensive line won that battle.
Just driving through. Look at that big man on big man. Great collision there. And credit Stewart. Little zig to the outside. Rory Johnson makes it, but look at that line pile in the middle. And you see Stewart there with those arms covering the ball. That's leg strength.
Keep an eye on Duckworth there on the right side of the Auburn offensive line. He's hitting his own guys. He's taunting the guys on the other side of the line. He's really trying to inject some emotion into this Auburn offense.
Thanks, Buzz. Little play action. Pass is caught down inside the 20-yard line. It goes to the tight end, Gabe McKenzie, the redshirt freshman out of Mobile, Alabama. Rory Johnson with his 5th tackle.
Well, you know, that's interesting that Duckworth, number 76, would do that, Dave. He's one of the seniors on this team. He's one of those guys that's supposed to be a leader, and that's the way you leader. You go around there, you just kind of pop everybody on the head and say, hey, let's get it on.
Auburn having to work lately with a couple of redshirt freshmen at tight end since Cole Bennett went down with a broken leg. Inside handoff, that'll pick up the first down. Carl Stewart with the carry. There is a flag down right in the middle of that line.
Boy, and where that flag is thrown, you hold your breath if you're Auburn because you think holding. We'll soon hear. Yep, holding. Wow. Second down and 1. You're just trying to make 1 yard.
Seems like it'd be hard to hold in a short yardage situation like that.
Number 76 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Remains second down.
So that penalty will move him back. It'll be second down and 10.5, let's say. And out of the I formation, Brandon Cox with that quick count trying to get Ole Miss to jump.
Clock's going down. Oh, he got it off at 1.
Lester. Oh, is he hit by Patrick Willis? Folks, I don't know that I have seen a better linebacker from the linebacker position than this young man.
Absolutely. 49. He is a highlight film. And he does it right, Dave. He does all the things that you think about with a linebacker. Look at that, 7 double-figure tackle games. I'm going to tell you something. That he's just the best there is.
3rd and 9. Cox steps up, fires, picked off. Charles Clark with his 2nd interception. And the Rebels have created the turnover.
And Dave, Brandon Cox had a lot of time to sit back there and look. You'll watch number 20. He's sitting back there. You see him right back there in the left of your screen. Look at him just read the quarterback and then come back up in there. He had number 80 open, Smith.
That is his first interception in 113 attempts. And only the 3rd interception all season. We'll return after this. After the interception, Ole Miss takes over inside their own 20-yard line. And off the left side goes to Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis. Will Herring brings him down. That'll be a gain of about 4.5 on the play.
You know, Dave, back to that interception. What Brandon Cox did there is he really zeroed in on his wide receiver. Just followed him all the way across. He never saw number 20 in the middle. Never saw Clark dropping back in that zone.
But a huge turnover. You talked about it. That's really Ole Miss's chance today, is to force Auburn into some turnovers, and that's been hard to do. They came in with only 8 turnovers all year. That was number 9. Or excuse me, 7 turnovers on the year. On second down, a couple of yards. The one good news is that when they have turned it over, the opponents have only taken advantage and scored 3 points.
That's pretty incredible. Of course, I'll tell you this, 7 turnovers, you know, that's incredible in 8 games.
Fewest in the SEC, 3rd best number in the country.
Now it's time for Brent Schaefer to step up. You've had your defense. They've taken the ball away. They've given you a turnover. You've got momentum. You've thrown that slant really well. Why not go back to it?
Here's Bruce Hall, little swing pass. Breaking some tackles to the 30, to the 35, and thrown down at the 38-yard line. The junior out of Milton, Florida, brought down by Karibi Dede.
Dave, this is just a little swing pass out. Look at the lineman getting out there. Now, cut back underneath those couple of those blocks, break a tackle as he does, pick up that positive yardage. Now you hope the flag's against Auburn. It may be.
If you're an Ole Miss fan, you would hope it would be against Auburn.
After the play was over. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 51 on the offense.
Ooh, that's a center.
15 yards from the end of the run. It'll be first down.
Wow.
Corey Actis, the junior center out of Bakersfield, Georgia.
Well, you ask, how can that happen? But he's just hustling. He's 25, 30 yards downfield, trying to get a block. You got to credit him for that.
Excuse me, Bakersfield, California. But that will be a first down, though, Dave. I mean, it's a post play, dead ball foul, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Boy, you got a quarterback in Schaefer who's got some confidence now.
Not a very good throw from Brent Schaefer, looking for Robert Huff, the tight end. Threw it right into that Auburn bench. That'll be 2nd down and 10.
And, you know, that's not the pass that Brent Schaefer's good at. He is good at that slant, maybe a go pattern. We talked about the patterns that come across his vision that he can see. That fade to the outside, that wasn't even close on that play. We saw it last week. We saw him throw 4 or 5 that weren't even close, Dave. Go back to that slant, go back to the curls, get those patterns where you've got somebody right up in your face. Got a stack at the top of the screen there.
Big hole. Bruce Hall out over the 40. That'll be a 1st down. Bruce Hall has made his presence felt on this drive.
Boy, you're going to see a big hole here. You talk about a big hole. Gives him some momentum. Look at this. Pull around the outside. That's 77. That's John Jerry leading him. He runs around there, makes a great seal, kicks out on the trap. That's what sprung it open. Then you just run for yardage.
Gain of 24 for Hall. He'll get the carry again. Out over the 45 to the 47-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 6.5.
And Dave, we didn't see this last week. You've got an offense that all of a sudden has got some confidence. They're blowing them off the line of scrimmage. You don't see that against Auburn very often, but they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
Well, Hall's a guy that started his career at Wake Forest. Then he went to Troy. Then he went to Northeast Community College before finding his way here to Ole Miss, and they are glad to have him, just a junior. Schaefer to throw. Pass is caught. Good looking throw and catch from the Rebels. Marshae Green, the true freshman, covered by Jonathan Wilhite. But a nice throw.
Exactly. This is timing. When you run that drag, you just come off the line and you just turn and be a target. And he drills it in front of Wilhite. I'm looking at Brent Schaefer, and this is not the quarterback we saw last week, Dave.
Well, Hicks is a guy that dropped Green is a guy that dropped a ball last week, and he had to carry the football around campus all week. Bruce Hall, quick feet through the line, picks up another 5 yards, brought down by Eric Brock. Schaefer, nowhere to run, contained well by that Auburn defense. Back to the line of scrimmage, Shinderick Marks and Trey Blackman converge for the tackle.
One of the things that Will Muschamp told us is we wanted to contain him. You see how he's running lateral along the line? Read that first read, didn't see it. You see Marks in there. He's the big guy up in the middle.
6'1", 285 out of Mobile, Alabama.
Well, just a redshirt freshman. He's got a lot of football ahead of him.
Here's Hall. Oh, as he stood up. Got a yard and then forced back by that Auburn defense. A big hit by Trey Blackman, a redshirt freshman out of LaGrange, Georgia.
Hello, Trey Blackman. Watch this. Stick in the hole. Excellent. Look at that. Great form, Dave. You see him bend those legs and get underneath him. Just stuck his hat right in the middle of his chest.
Dave, 4th and 5 from the 41. Kind of in that no man's land. You surprised the punters here?
Yeah, I am. I really am. I think that in this game like this, you're the underdog. You go for it. But they don't.
Rob Park will pooch it down, hit it to 15. They'll go inside the 10, and that worked out well.
Wow.
Well, they didn't go for it, but they have pushed Auburn back as far as you can push a team. 99 yards staring the Auburn offense in the face when we come back. We'll return after these messages from your local stations. Tied at 7. 5:06 to go in the second quarter, and Auburn backed up underneath the student section inside the 1-yard line. They will line up in the I formation, and Cox will throw it. The loud pattern. Pass is caught at the 9-yard line by Rod Smith. Brandon Cox coming off his first interception in over 100 passes, and only his 3rd interception all season long. It took 113 passes for him to get picked off. It was a nice little stretch.
Nice little stretch. That's a nice long stretch.
Yeah.
I asked him when I was down on the field, I said to him, did you ever have a better game than last week? He said, yes, sir, Mr. Rowe. High school. He said, I was 18 of 19.
He was 16 out of 19 against Tulane.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So a second down and short situation now for Auburn, and Cox checks off at the line of scrimmage. Handoff goes to Irons, and he will pick up the first down out to the 12-yard line. So Auburn has weathered that storm, backed up inside the 1, a fresh set of downs from the 12.
Yeah, and you have a very calm quarterback, under composure all the time, Dave. He's just got control of this offense.
And a flag down, looks like some movement up on that offensive line.
Jamarcus Sanford, number 13. He comes running up, starts pointing at the guard. Might have been Ben Grubb, 69.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 69 on the offense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
There's Big Ben, 6'3", 320, making his 34th straight start, but that'll back up that man's offense. Al Borges, 5 yards. First down and 15. And this is a time when certainly depth will become an issue for Ole Miss's defense with those suspended players, 1 dismissed player. Didn't look to be a problem for Greg Hardy on that play, the true freshman out of Millington, Tennessee, whose favorite hobby besides football is sleeping.
I didn't know that was a hobby. But Hardy, 86, he runs the line well. Left of your screen, watch him slide here. Just gets an ankle tackle there, but it's just enough. Sometimes some of the best tackles you can make are the ones that you grab a shoelace.
Obviously, Hardy not groggy from the early start.
Calling for noise.
Toss sweep right side. Kenny Irons spinning and churning out to the 16-yard line. Brought down by Vicente DeLoach.
When you're Tommy Tuberville's offense on that sweep, it looks like just a whole student body running ahead of you. You got the big guys out in front, Palmer, Duckworth. They're just out there moving, big bodies, and it's like a wave. Defense, you got to stick through it. You got to get inside of it. Get penetration. Big down here.
Third and 6. Cox to throw. Little slant pattern. Pass is caught. That will be a first down. Rod Smith with another huge catch. Charles Clark on the coverage. But a great throw and catch.
It's a post pattern, and you can wait. Look at Brandon Cox. Just wait for Smith to come open. He's one-on-one coverage out there with a safety underneath, and it just gives him a little bit too much room. You see how he makes that dart? The safety comes up to help, but it's a little bit late.
First and 10, clock at 1:42. Cox will throw. Pass is caught. Courtney Taylor out to the 45. Boy, Brandon Cox is so sharp.
Absolutely. Talk about his poise and his confidence. But watch him plant. Little play fake here now. Run him deep and wide. You can see he picks off. He comes off number 5. That was Tommy Trott, the tight end. Went deep. Double pattern drag out there. Had a lot of time.
Cox will throw, and the catch is made. Again, this time it goes to Robert Dunn. That will stop the clock with 1:26 to go before halftime. Brian Brown who got the start today at safety as Jamarcus Sanford moves up to a starting linebacker position.
And one of the things that Al Borges is doing is he's throwing underneath, Dave. Right now, Ole Miss is playing a 2-deep zone. They've got 2 safeties sitting right back in the middle there. You see them right out in there. And they're playing a 2-deep zone, so he's got underneath where he can throw it. And Al Borges is just going to pick them apart, going underneath, until they change that defense.
Second down and a couple. Cox will throw it again, has plenty of time. Caught at the 37-yard line by Dunn again. That'll be a first down. Rory Johnson makes the stop.
Well, clock stops on the move of the change. Now you huddle up, get up on the ball, just keep on picking them apart. That underneath's there, let it go. If you've got a one-on-one matchup like you do at the top of the screen, but you see that 2-deep zone, you throw underneath that.
Here comes some pressure from the outside. Cox sees it, throws, and Dunn drops this one.
That may be the first bad pass I've seen by Brandon Cox. He threw it behind him, made Dunn turn all the way around trying to get the ball. Again, another underneath pass, but watch where the position of the ball. See how he had to turn all the way back around. That's a tough catch. I'll be honest with you, but again, they just continue going underneath. And if you're at Orgeron, you're saying, hey, let him catch it underneath. Minute 8, just let him catch it underneath. Hope that they get a tip or something. Don't give him the deep one.
Trying to set up a little screen, and it is snuffed out in a hurry by the Rebels. Brian Brown. Trey Smith made the catch, but Brown was there in a hurry. 60 seconds to go before halftime. Auburn looking at a 3rd and 13. Little delay handoff goes to Lester. Breaks a couple of tackles, but he is well shy of the first down, and a loose football. Ole Miss says they may have it.
Dave, the second man in, ripped that ball out. Now, was he down first? Yes. He was not down first, I should say.
And Greg Hardy, the true freshman, with his second fumble recovery of the season, comes away with the football, and clock will start in a hurry with the change of possession.
I'm surprised at this call, to be honest with you. It's not going to make a first down, but it was. I said second man in. It actually was Greg Hardy who ripped that ball out. 86.
And there's already been 5, 6, 7 seconds ticked off this clock. Ole Miss needs to get out there, and that's 10, 11, 12 seconds. What are they doing?
Well, they're obviously happy to go in because they're running the ball.
Why not? That's amazing to me.
I think you throw the ball in this situation.
Well, you got to know that the clock's going to start on a change of possession and get out. Don't huddle up. You've been on the sideline for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you know what they're doing? They're just content to go in at halftime, 7-7.
Listen,
and we'll disagree.
Listen, you are 2-6 on the year, 1-4. You can't score. You got to try every opportunity you have the football to put it in the end zone.
I'm with you, 100%. I'd have been throwing that football, I promise you.
So that'll do it for the first half of football, tied at 7. We are tied at 7, almost time for the third quarter. Tommy Tuberville knew this was going to be a tough test. He's with Dave Baker.
People laugh at it when you say stuff like this, but you told us the other day you got to fight your guts out on the road in this league.
Oh, every week, it don't make any difference who you play. You got to go and you got to play your best game. We didn't play a great first half. We played all right, but we're going to have to play a lot better this half to win the game.
All right, thanks, Tommy.
Thanks.
That's Tommy Tuberville, Dave. Auburn gets the football to start the second half.
Thank you very much, Buzz. Will Mosley will kick it off. And he will take a knee at the inside the end zone, so they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. All right, coach.
All right.
Little toss sweep, near side. Kenny Irons breaks a couple of tackles. Actually ran through Patrick Willis for a moment there. Finally brought down.
Boy, now that's something that you don't see out of Auburn very often. Touchdown, interception, fumble. You don't see that. I mean, that's not playing good football. Tommy Tuberville.
Well,
right.
You can look at it a couple of ways. Yeah, but they also had 15-play drive, 11-play drive, 11-play drive. I mean, they are certainly moving the football, but they are backed up. They have had a lot of green AstroTurf in front of them today.
Yeah, those punts, those little pooch punts down in the corner, they have really worked well for Ole Miss.
Here goes Irons, and he stumbles and falls over the 30-yard line, and that'll be good enough for the first down. Rory Johnson with his 8th stop today. Willis has 7.
And Dave, you come out in the second half and you set a tone. Right away you see that Auburn's going to run the football. That's a tone setter standing right in front of you. Number 48, Rory Johnson, and 49, his cohort, Patrick Willis. They're trying to set the tone on defense. This first stanza, this first drive, is so important for both teams.
So 3rd down and 1. Coach Tuberville has gone for it on 4th down a couple of times today. He's been successful each time. So out of the eye, a couple of tight ends. And whistles and a flag down. That play will be waved off.
Prior to the snap, delay of game. Number 12 on the offense.
Wow.
5 yards, remain 3rd down.
3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
There's quite a difference on the play selection because now it's tough to run for 6 yards.
Cox stands in the pocket, lofts it up, and it's dropped. A rare drop by Courtney Taylor.
I want to tell you, you never see Courtney Taylor drop a ball. This is almost, he's too wide open, right across the field. He's going to come right across and watch this ball just come right out of his hands. It almost looks as if he made one of those sins where, you know, you don't start to run before you pull it in, but never do you see Courtney Taylor miss a ball like that.
Yeah, that's a rare occasion for Courtney. That'll force Auburn to punt it away. Cody Bliss, one of the best in America. It's a line drive punt that is returnable by Marche Green. Green out to the 45, to the 47, and run out of bounds. So great field position now for the Ole Miss Rebels on their opening possession of the second half. Inside handoff goes to Bruce Hall. And I think that we may see a lot of Bruce Hall in the second half. And I say that because 2 weeks ago, going into the Arkansas game, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis had hurt his left shoulder and did not play in the 4th quarter and overtime against Alabama. The coaches told us last week it was still sore, but he's a tough kid and he's going to gut it out. Well, they said it was still tweaked this week, and I wonder, because we're seeing so much of Bruce Hall here, that if Ben Jarvis will be limited here in the second half.
Well, you got to pick up positive yardage on that first down. Oh, another fake through the line.
Robert Lane. He's to the 20, to the 15, and steps out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Another big pickup for the tight end, Robert Lane, the former quarterback, coming off a sprained knee.
Very similar to that first series. Play action fake. Liam's coming right through the line right there. He's going out there to get open. What he does is he play fakes. It holds the linebacker. The linebacker then loses him, Dave. When he comes through the line, he thinks he's blocking. It's worked twice. And I mean for big yardage.
1st and goal now from the 9. Here's Bruce Hall. He is dropped for a loss of 3 on the play by Marquise Gunn, the senior out of Alexander City, Alabama. Let's check in with Dave Baker.
Yeah, Dave, Tim Mullins, the trainer for Ole Miss, says nothing going on from his end with Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, the old CD coach's decision.
All right, Buzz, 2nd down and 12, 2nd and goal from the 12. Schaefer under pressure, just throws it away. He hits the deck, and Quentin Groves staring him down.
And you know, this was a good decision by Brent Schaefer. Little play fake action. He's going to roll out strong side. He's got Quentin Groves, 54, right in his face. What does he do? Don't take the loss. Throw the ball away. Heads up play.
Yeah, that was, I think, a nice play by the quarterback. He would have, in previous games, tried to force it somewhere he shouldn't have.
Exactly. There's Dan Werner, the offensive coordinator, right there. I think yeah, that's him. That's Dan.
3 wide receiver set. 2 to the top, 1 to the near side. Out of the shotgun, Schaefer lofts it up in the corner. Pass is caught, but out of bounds. Good catch by Shea Hodge, but it'll go for naught. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, let's give credit on that corner. That's John Wilhite. He uses his body. Look at that, go up over top. Great catch, you said it. But he forces him out. He never gave up that inside position. See 24 right, reaching out there, playing the ball all the way. That is an outstanding play.
That'll bring out the field goal unit, 29-yarder. Joshua Sheen is 7 out of 9 this year, but he's hit 6 straight. His only miss lately has been from 54. And this one is up and good. So the true freshman out of Oklahoma City gives the 2-6 Ole Miss Rebels a 3-point lead over 7th-ranked Auburn. Ole Miss takes a 10-7 lead over 7th-ranked Auburn. Auburn needs to step it up a notch here on the road. Big hit on special teams by Bruce Hall on the Tristan Davis return. But Tommy Tuberville told me before the game today that this is a season where he hasn't had his team put together a complete performance. Low throw pass is incomplete. That looks like it's short hopped. And yeah, some of our officials had a better look than others. Rodriguez was the intended target. It was just a low throw that one hopped.
And Rodriguez is over there saying, hey, I caught that. And Tuberville's looking at him saying, are you sure?
It looked to me like it one-hop to him.
Ooh. Yeah, that ball's out. Yeah, but that camera takes you real close. And of course, they review every play. Didn't see any necessary reason to take time to look at that one.
Cox will throw it again. You know, this Ole Miss secondary has been beat up and pretty much a downtrodden group all year, but they have played so well today. Tremaine McBride, the senior out of Clarksdale, Mississippi, with a second pass broken up this afternoon.
And you know, I talked to Ed Orgeron and I said to him, what is it? He dropped a hit with us left-handed quarterbacks, and I went up to him, I said, don't lead me like that. He said, Dave, you played for one of the great left-handed quarterbacks. What'd he do? I said, well, he threw to the left a lot. Yeah. He play actions to the left. Yeah. And he said, you're just about on it. He said, we've got some tendencies that we think we can pick up on them.
Cox to throw. That pass is caught, and that'll be very close to the first down. Courtney Taylor on that far side, right at that first down marker. I think they'll give it to him.
Nice move on here. Drives him off the ball. Look at the cushion. See the defensive back turn your back? There's the first down marker right there. And you see him just come right down on it. McBride with a little bit too much cushion on that play.
First down and 10. And Kenny Irons just slipped down through that hole off the left side of that line of scrimmage.
Boy, you don't see that often. Kenny Irons slip. I mean, that's Mr. ankles, feet, knees, and hips, and everything moving when he comes through that line.
Irons needs just 126 yards, actually less than that. He needs a little over 70 now for 2,000 rushing yards in his career. Had a breakout game this year to start the season with 182. He had 117 versus South Carolina, but he has been fighting injuries ever since. Here's Cox. He had the tight end, but decides to go to the other tight end, Gabe McKenzie. Both tight ends ran routes, one shorter than the other, and he went to the deep man, and McKenzie needs to make that grab.
Coming off the line, right of your screen, you're going to see a little play action fake now. Throws it to him. Look at this. You got to catch that. Oh, you got to dive out for that. And look at Brandon Cox. Come on now. Stretch for me, Gabe.
With a broken leg, he is trying to make his way back. Cox has plenty of time. Pass is tipped, and then is it dropped? They'll say no, that Taylor was down on the ground. It was dropped, but not. They will say incomplete.
I think another official overruled him, said he didn't have possession long enough because the ball was coming out. Yeah, he's exactly right. You see the juggle of the football again. But how about this defensive secondary downfield, Dave? That's a coverage underthrow. They took the deep pattern away from him, and he doesn't come up with it. Good coverage.
And whistles will stop this play. It looks like Auburn having some lapses.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 54 on the offense. 5 yards, still fourth down.
Willis right here of Ole Miss. A great kick by Cody Bliss. A bomb that Green takes back at the 20. And he is chased down and will be stopped. The mark is forward progress all the way out to the 29. Will Herring on that special teams tackle for the Auburn Tigers. 8:17 to go here in the third quarter. The Rebels looking for the upset. 55,211 on hand today at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. And right now, Ole Miss with a 3-point advantage. They have the football. Schaefer to throw to the middle, picked off at the 41-yard line by Eric Brock, his second of the season. And just like that, the Tigers have great field position and are knocking on the door.
Boy, your defense can turn that football around. Crossing pattern. Look at Schaefer just zero in, and he never saw Brock come sliding in there. He steps right in front of the wide receiver.
Dave, that is the same thing that happened on the other side of the football when Brandon Cox threw an interception.
Exactly.
Didn't see the safety.
And that's where Brock was sitting, right in that strong safety, or I should say free safety zone.
Leicester, not much room to run as Ole Miss strung that out exceptionally well. Jamarcus Sanford makes the stop there. Let's check in downstairs with Dave Baker. Buzz.
You know, Dave, the scouting has gotten so intricate. Remember we were talking to Will Muschamp on the conference call the other day. He had breakdowns on what Eric Schaefer had done, Brent Schaefer had done against man coverage and zone coverage and all the percentages. But he said when you played zone against him, oftentimes he wasn't real sure to do what to do with the football. They were in zone that time and got the turnover.
Absolutely.
I got some of those numbers. I'll give you just a second as Cox looks, fires, passes, caught by Courtney Taylor down inside the 15-yard line, down to the 13. Jamarcus Sanford finally brings him down.
Cox finds it so well, looking to his left. Little play fake action to hold the backers, and then he looks and finds Courtney Cox. He's a big target. He gets open, gets great separation. And how about Brock turning around saying, yes, that's what we need to do.
23-yard pickup on that play. By the way, just to follow that up, in zone coverage, 4-man rush, Schaefer completes 43%. In man coverage, 60% of his passes. So big difference in that department. Here's a little toss sweep. Lester trying to get the corner. Can't do it. Brought down by Rory Johnson. You see the outstanding speed from the junior out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. So second down and 3 from the 6.
Now your defense is thinking just hold them to a field goal. If you're Auburn, you don't want a field goal here. You don't want to settle for 3.
Another toss swing. Lester, touchdown. That's his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. The man who scores a TD once every 10 times he touches the football.
That's Duckworth. Look at him, just run behind him. He's a huge, big senior, about 325 pounds. Look at him come around here. Look at him looking right there. You just get right behind him and dive over top of him for the score.
It's under review.
Under review.
Maybe they're wondering whether he landed in the end zone. Sure looked like he landed in the end zone to me.
Nothing stood out to me in terms of that touchdown. Of course, we'll get another look at it here.
76, it's Duckworth. Watch him lead. Now watch the knees, right?
Wow.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely coming down in the end zone.
Ball's a yard and a half in before he hits the. All he's got to do is that football's got to break the plane.
And nothing touches before that, Dave. His knee doesn't touch down beforehand. Look at him. Just look at Duckworth there. Just great drive blocking. His left elbow touches down, but he's already in the zone.
The ball touches the front edge of the end zone line. It is a touchdown. I don't think we'll wait much longer.
No, I think this one's history.
Here comes Hubert Owens.
After review, video confirms the call on the field. It is a touchdown.
But let's get it right, though, and we did. That's why we have the replay system. Although that's arguable. Some teams around the country might argue that.
Yeah. But on that play, it worked.
Right.
That play, it worked.
So here comes John Vaughn in for the point-after attempt.
I think this is about as close to a sure thing as you can get. John Vaughn.
2 in a row today gives him 99 consecutive point-afters. The senior out of Brentwood, Tennessee, makes it 14-10. Auburn fans happy with the Brad Lester touchdown. Courtney Taylor had a couple of big catches on that drive as well, and Tigers lead it by 4 now. Ole Miss coughed up the football, the Brent Schaefer interception, and Auburn made him pay. This kickoff will go to McSwain about 3 yards deep, and he'll bring it out. Miko out over the 15 to the 17-yard line. Brought down by Patrick Lee. Yeah, look at number 9 in the white jersey. And
that's why you get 15-yard penalties.
We'll give Ole Miss the bonus 15 out to the 33-yard line. And here's Big Jarvis Green Ellis back on the football field. As Bud said, it was not necessarily an injury, just basically a coach's decision to let Bruce Hall carry the football. 4:49 to go in the third quarter. Pressure coming, and down goes Schaefer. Wow. Trey Blackman and Quentin Groves. Groves was there first, but boy, did those guys come in like missiles.
They have to get him more active. Top of the screen, look at this, comes in untouched. You see the double from both edges. Now, one of the things that Will Muschamp told us is that we have to get containment on the quarterback. Number 54, that's Quentin Groves. Got to get him more involved. And they got him more involved that time.
Second sack of the day for this Auburn defense. That gives him 22 on the year. Here's Schaefer. Back over the middle. Pass is dropped and then intercepted. Right through the hands of Shea Hodge. And Auburn with their second INT here in the third quarter. This time it's Aaron Savage.
This just kills you when you tip a ball. Credit the defense. Great coverage. Little roll action here. Got him crossing and got him deep. This is a well-thrown ball. A little bit high. But when you tip the ball and it goes up like that, Savage is just coming right underneath from the safety position. Look at this. Little bit high. Slips a little bit. But you don't want to tip it up. And the Auburn fans, they love it.
Timeout on the field. 14-10. 3:42 to go in the third quarter on a gorgeous day for some SEC football. Ole Miss took a brief lead at 10-7. But Auburn responded, and now they come up with a turnover again. And they will start their drive at their own 47-yard line. Little play action. Cox will throw. As Courtney Taylor again. Did he hold on for the reception? Yes, he did. He fumbled out of bounds. But Taylor has been a big performer here this afternoon. He did have one drop, but he has been a go-to guy for Brandon Cox this afternoon.
He's wide open on the play. He runs a little out pattern at about 12-15 yards, Dave. Drives the safety off on the ball, makes his cut, and he is wide open. He's been open all day long. They're trying to cover him with a little bit of zone where you cover behind him. But you have to credit this offense of Auburn because they're taking advantage of what they're given.
He has 7 catches today for Courtney Taylor for 92 yards. Kenny Irons will take it close to the 30-yard line as we approach 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. There's Al Borges.
And Dave, it was interesting talking with Al Borges. He said we plan to show 10 new formations, 10 others that we've run plays from. We just do not want to be predictable. And that's really interesting because you go out back and you scout what you did in the last game to see if they're very predictable plays, because that's what gives the defense tendencies on the offense.
Second down and 3. Cox will throw it again. Has his tight end Trot. He'll have the first down and bumped out of bounds at the 20 by Patrick Willis, but a nice play fake from the quarterback.
So he's going to play fake over this way, then pull the ball down. Tight end drags off the line, and he's wide open. You're thinking that the tight end is blocking. Of course, you look at the size of Tommy Trot, 6'5", 254 pounds, just a redshirt freshman.
Brandon Cox, 18 out of 26 today. Here's a toss sweep to the wide side. Kenny Irons met by Rory Johnson, pitched it to about the 13-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 6 on the play.
Boy, and this is where Auburn can really hurt you. They can pound you inside. They can run those sweeps. They can take control of this football game on this drive, and their offense knows it. You've got to draw. When you get that opportunity, you've got to score.
Kenny Irons today still not 100%, but getting closer to about 90 to 95, according to Kenny himself and the coaches. He looks pretty good today. This little toss sweeps they've been running with him. He's picked up 5, 7, 8 yards every time.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling good because look at the move they made right there. He was going to be dropped by penetration, steps over top of it, comes down. Anything's hurting on you, that shows that it's not hurting. He's loose. He's ready to run.
Jeremy Garrett with the stop. Kenny Irons today, 15 carries, averaging a little over 4 per carry. He came in with an average of about 96.5 yards per game. That's second best in the SEC to Darren McFadden. And Jarvis Green Ellis is third in the SEC in rushing, just under 90 per game. Cox has all day to throw. Over the middle, nearly picked off. I couldn't tell if he was going for Rod Smith. who was in front of Gabe McKenzie or not, but there were a lot of blue jerseys around the football.
20 steps right in front. Watch in the middle of your screen. Takes a lot of time. Look at 20. Now watch this. Right in front of, oh man, he had that football. That would have been his second interception. Look at that.
Oh.
That ball was right there. That could have been a huge turnover.
Here comes John Vaughn. 14 out of 17 in field goals. This from 31. Well, I tell you what, there aren't many teams in America with the kicking game of the Auburn Tigers. Between Cody Bliss and John Vaughn, they're pretty impressive, and Auburn's lead is now 7. 17-10. Auburn leading by a touchdown, under a minute to go. There's Matt Clark's kickoff that will sail out of bounds. Wow. So that'll bring it out to the 35-yard line. If that's exactly what's going to happen here. They're going to take it to the 35.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Receiving team chooses to take the ball at the 35-yard line. First down.
They do have the option to make them re-kick if they so desire, but Ole Miss will take it at the 35. 1st and 10. Handoff, big haul. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis picks up a dozen. First down, Ole Miss. Out over the 40 to the 42-yard line, and Eric Brock makes a potential touchdown saving tackle. At Indiana, Al Borges was his offensive coordinator, and he said that they ran 102 power plays for Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Pass caught by Jason Cook, the fullback. Karibi Dede with the stop.
Auburn brought pressure on the outside edge, and they just flipped it to him. Schaefer flipped it to him real fast. Made positive yards with it. 2nd down and 8. That's a great down to have, because this is where you can challenge him, maybe go deep.
Instead, they'll go to Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, who slips at the 40, but he picks up the first down. Boy, now some holes are opening up, especially off that right side of the line that the coaches talked to us about. 7-point lead for the 7th-ranked Auburn Tigers as we begin the 4th quarter. But Ole Miss on the move. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, who sat out most of that 3rd quarter, giving way to Bruce Hall, has been the main cog here on this drive. Schaefer gets out of trouble, still on his feet. Got a couple of yards when he should have lost about 6, and here comes the late hit.
Oh, man, when you tackle him past the white stripe, that's when you're going to get a flag.
And that might have been the redshirt freshman Trey Blackman.
After the play was over, personal foul. Late hit out of bounds, number 10 on the defense. 15 yards to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Look at this. Back inside, back. He makes people miss. Watch right. That's a little move right there. Get him back outside. Now, you're outside the white. You can't come in there and hit him outside that white stripe.
Well, that'll move the ball to the 22-yard line. Ole Miss with a great opportunity.
When you see Tommy Tuberville, when you're a coach and you walk like that, you're upset.
Bruce Hall will throw it back, looking for Schaefer. He makes the catch, dancing around to the 15, down to the 13-yard line. That'll be about a yard shy of the first down. Quentin Groves with the tackle.
It's a quarterback throwback. You knew when he wasn't gaining ground, he was going to throw it back to Brent Schaefer. And it was interesting. I asked Dan Werner, the offensive coordinator for this Ole Miss team, I said, hey, you and Coach Tuberville are tight? He said, ask me that after the game. He may not like me.
Dan Werner, an offensive consultant for Tommy in 1999 at Auburn. 2 were grad assistants down in Miami back in the late 80s. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis powering his way down to the 5-yard line. That'll set up a first down and goal for the Rebels. Power formation. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis will get the handoff off the right side. Lost a yard.
Boy, that's good defense by Auburn. They know that they're going to run behind Maurice Miller, Big Mo Miller and John Jerry. They played well on that play. They knew they were going to come strong side, and they stopped them.
Out of the shotgun. 2nd down and goal from the 7. Here comes some heat from Auburn. Schaefer stands in there, fires to the corner, incomplete, and a flag down. Intended for Shea Hodge. And I'm sure the question will become now was that pass interference with an uncatchable ball, or was it holding? That's the discussion right now. Defensive holding.
Well, if it's
or was it pass interference, but the ball was uncatchable, making it nullifying the penalty?
But did the defensive holding cause him to throw the ball out of bounds? Was the holding early in the play early enough where Schaefer had nobody to go to?
Holding on the defense. Number 4 on an eligible receiver. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
So it doesn't matter if it was catchable or not on holding is the point.
Not on holding, exactly. The holding accounts right on the left of your screen. You can't really see it there, but you see how Schaefer just could not go to his receiver. That's because the ball was held. Now, yes, it's an uncatchable ball, but the holding is what caused him to throw it out of bounds.
Tommy doesn't like it, but nothing he can do about it now on 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
I know where I'm going. Number 6.
To the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Lawrence Lilly. And they're a point after away from tying it up.
First of all, credit Schaefer with a great play fake. Then just sit back there and wait for your big tight end to come open. He just kind of creeps along the back of the end zone. That was a great play fake action. That's what held the defense.
Point after is up and good. Ole Miss has been getting a ton of production today from their tight ends, and it's helped tie it up in the 4th quarter. We are tied at 17 here in the 4th quarter, just over 12 minutes to play. What is a shocker, regardless of what happens the remainder of the way. Here's Tristan Davis. He's to the 30. Davis to the 40. Still on his feet. Out to the 45-yard line. There's a great opportunity now for Auburn. At the 45, a nice return. People are telling me the flag somewhere, and I don't see any, so let's play some football. How about Auburn? Al Borges saying he wants to be balanced, Dave.
Yep.
28 passes, 28 runs.
That's balanced. He said it's a delicate balance. I want to be balanced. I don't want to be predictable.
Brad Lester in a tailback. They'll play fake to him. Brandon Cox will fire to Courtney Taylor, and he'll make the catch. Jermaine McBride will get credit for that tackle. Brandon Cox on the day, now 20 out of 29. You look at this Tiger play selection. They have second most rushes per game. Alabama only rushes it more per game than Auburn in the Southeastern Conference, and they're certainly headed in that direction, but throwing a little bit more than usual today.
Well, if I had the likes of Kenny Irons and Brad Lester and those kind of guys, I think I'd be running a lot also.
You're just not going to get past the Rory Johnsons and the Patrick Willises of the world. They'll get each credit for that stop. That'll be 11 tackles for Johnson.
This may be Roy Johnson's best one. Watch this right here. One hand. He's going to come in there, gets a drag on him. Look at that. One hand up around that neck. He's got it.
He's a guy that just, both he and Patrick, they're guys when you watch them play, you can just tell they enjoy the competition.
Dave, I want to tell you, I went and watched film yesterday in the coaches' rooms, and they jump out at you. They're so fast. They run the line. They just play their keys so well. Screen pass. It's not open. Now he's got Lyman downfield.
And he will throw it away, and a flag comes down because you're exactly right, big fella. He had 3 offensive linemen inside the 40-yard line, and it's hard to miss the guys that weigh 350.
Yeah, exactly right. When a screen play goes bad, and this one goes bad, it is ugly.
So when it takes that long as a quarterback, I mean, I guess the only thing you can do is really tuck it and try to run as much as you can run.
That's the only thing that you can do in that situation, because if you pass it, even if you spike it in the ground, they're downfield on the pass. So the only thing you can do is run it. But you know what? If I'm Tommy Tuberville or Al Borges, I don't want Brandon Cox running the football. He's come back from that bad ankle. He's playing well.
Ineligible downfield. Number 79 on the offense. That penalty is refused. It'll be third down.
That play was definitely snuffed out by Ole Miss.
Yeah.
That'll make it third down and 10.
Well, I'll tell you, this has been a great football game. This is not the Ole Miss team that we saw last week.
No.
Nowhere close.
No, it's not even remotely close. Cox fires downfield. Pass is caught. First down inside the 20, down to the 18 to Lee Guess, the senior out of Trussville, Alabama, brought down by Charles Clark.
He's going to find a wide receiver. Look at the time. Look at that great protection. Nobody around him, and he finds Lee Guess on a crossing pattern. You just can't give him that. And that's the balance that you've got to try to figure if you're a defensive coordinator. When do you bring pressure? And you can't let someone like Brandon Cox just sit back there. He'll pick you apart.
On third down and 10, a 26-yard pickup. Here's some razzle-dazzle coming. Courtney Taylor down to the 12-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the play. Deloach with the tackle. Good down right here, Dave. Second and 3.
Absolutely. It's good down. It's good waist down. You can go deep. You can go in the end zone. You've always got third and fourth down. You're going to at least get a field goal try at here, and you got one of the strongest field goal kickers around.
But instead, they'll do the toss sweep to Lester. He's to the 6. Good enough to pick up the first down. That's a 6-yard gain. So now it'll be first and goal.
Dave, I really like this play. Look at the big blockers get out in front of them. Palmer, Duckworth, they're out in front leading that play. 79, 76. And when he's turned that corner, he wasn't trying to fool anybody. He just put his head down, and he was going to make that first down.
Well, this is Tommy Tuberville type football now. Physical inside the red zone. Cox throwing back of the end zone. Nearly caught with one hand by Tommy Trott, but he was hit at the last moment and it falls incomplete. And is that Brandon Cox on the ground? It is. His right knee looks like it is certainly hurting.
Watch this hit. Bang, he's going to get knocked down. He comes down hard on that right knee, it looked like. And he was slow getting up. But how about him jumping up here? But what a catch by Trott. That was almost a circus catch.
Second and goal from 5. Cox will stay in. Lester, right side. Breaks a tackle, slips down to the 4.
You don't break a tackle on number 49. Patrick Willis, that was the guy who came in and cleaned him up. 12 tackles today already, Dave. 12.
Well, that now means he has double-figure tackles in 15 of his last 17 games.
Well, I just love his play. I've talked about it. I know I've harped on it. But number 49 just moves to the football for Ole Miss. He's a great, just instinct player.
Third and goal from the 4. Clock at 7:49 to go in the football game.
Got 5 wideouts.
Cox to fire behind Lee Guess, incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. And I'm thinking you got to go get the points here.
Yes, absolutely. You go get the points in a game like this. He had a bunch of receivers to his left. He had 5 wideouts, 3 to his left, and he throws the ball behind Guess on that play. And he drills it because he's got to throw it in there with some velocity because you saw number 48 diving in there.
Ball will be started just outside the 10-yard line, meaning it'll be a 20-yard field goal for John Vaughn. And he nails it. You can just expect to put it in the book every time he steps on the field. It's a 3-point lead for the Auburn Tigers on the road. We'll see if that field goal can hold up by John Vaughn, who, by the way, just set a new Auburn record for field goals in a career with 2 this afternoon. And Matt Clark will kick it away. This one will sail about 4 yards deep in the end zone. Marche Green, he's met at the 12 and stopped right there in Nashville. Maybe those guys can give me some tickets. Now as I just started thinking about that. Oh, now the Auburn D is stepping up. There's Trey Blackman stepping in the hole, making the tackle.
No hole. Look at the quick little feet. There's no hole there. See him squashing it in there. And boy, you have to like the play of Trey Blackman. Just a redshirt freshman. He's got such great speed. He's got a sack, 4 tackles today, moving well to the ball. Got a little bit of criticism in the past about lining up, but Dave, he does what they tell him to do.
4-man front out of the shotgun. Swing pass. Boy, he threw it a little too hard for Miko McSwain. Schaefer now on the day, 10 out of 17. A couple of interceptions, but that pass a little too hard. I mean, Miko McSwain's only 5 feet away from him.
I know it's hard, but I don't like the play selection. I want to go downfield. Brent Schaefer has had so much success going downfield, looking at little slants. He had time to sit back there. First down didn't work. Now you put 3rd down in about 15.
Yeah, Dave, I think this is a big-time play, because if they don't make it here, they're going to have to punt it. Auburn will have outstanding field position. And with 6:20 to go, they may not get the football back.
Well, I was looking to see if Michael Hicks is out there because he carried the ball all week. maybe you go to somebody like that. Got to go downfield.
Schaefer fires over the middle. Contact made at the 22, and here come the flags. That'll be a first down. Pass interference. Aaron Savage a little bit early on Shea Hodge.
Well, David, I was going to say this was a terrible pass selection. I think he picked out the wrong receiver on the play. But Hodge is going to get a first down by pass interference. Sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good.
Yes.
But I think he just made a terrible selection. He had him out in the flat. I think that was a better pass, but he had to make 15 yards. This should be an automatic first down.
Pass interference. Number 24 of the defense. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Schaefer under a lot of little pressure up front there. You see him get touched late. Gets knocked down, but right there you see the double coverage. You know, oh yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely Savage before Wilhite. Wilhite's going to be called for it.
I wonder why he didn't go for the interception, Savage.
9 penalties today against Auburn. Handoff inside. Then Jarvis Green Ellis picks up a couple as we close in on 6 minutes. Speaking of those penalties, Auburn came in 4th in the league, averaged 41 yards per game in penalties. But today, Dave, they are closing in on 100. As I look at it, 9 for 84 yards today.
Yeah, we're not seeing a typical Auburn football game today. 2 interceptions, I believe, am I right? And 1 fumble.
Pressure comes. Schaefer makes a man miss. Still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line. 26-yard line. Might have gotten a yard. Pressure came from Sinderic Marks.
He's in there on a snap. Must have missed the block up front. Look how quick he is. Big man in there. Marks is about 285, 290. Runs him out of the pocket.
3rd down. Out of the shotgun. Looks like some heat's coming from Auburn. Now they back off. Schaefer nowhere to go. Swings it out. Had Mike Wallace wide open, and I think that the fact that he was going forward, trying to throw it sideways, just he couldn't put enough on the football.
Well, you saw his arm. He was awkward when he threw the ball, but this is the one where he needed to make this pass. This is very similar to last week when he overthrew his tight end. That was a huge mistake by Schaefer. He started to bail out a little bit early. His line was giving him a pocket. Hang in there, big fella. Hang in there.
See him shaking his head.
Yep.
But that pass interference certainly got Ole Miss out of some trouble. A good punt here by Rob Park. It's a high hanging kick taken by Robert Dunn. Dunn makes a couple of guys miss and then falls out to the 38-yard line. So with 5:10 to go, Ole Miss going to count on that defense. They've been tough all day long. They'll need to do it one more time. Auburn, first down and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Cox will throw it, looking for the tight end trot. That'll go out of bounds and stop the clock. with 4:52 to go in this one. Time for our Suzuki way of life, and we'll focus on Patrick Willis. And he talked to his teammates, he talked to the coaches. They say that there is an exemplary human being. Wears the patch representing the Chucky Mullins Courage Award. Loves to spend time with kids in this community. Matter of fact, a couple of busloads of people came from Brewston, Tennessee, his hometown, earlier this season. Over 200 friends and family members came to see him play. And class act, we wish him the best in his future endeavors. Here's Kenny Irons. Bouncing around like a pinball, gets into Ole Miss territory down at the 46-yard line. Charles Clark brings him down, but that's a big first down.
He's just, I didn't know if that was Dunlap or not. He's kind of chugging along here. Look, just kind of chugging, and boom, get out of my way. That's Jonathan Palmer.
There's Hugh Nall, who has to be somewhat pleased to have some healthy bodies back to work with up front. These guys were banged up last week. Didn't know if they were going to have a center today. Play clock really down to 0. They get it off. Here's Irons. Big hole. Kenny Irons inside the 35 down to the 32, and it's Clark again. But Kenny Irons.
Well, some runners do that. When the game gets tough, they get tough. That's what Irons does. Look at the movement in that hips. We talk about him all the time, moving. But this is where Auburn can wear you out. They can run that football. Irons almost at 100 yards, which is quite a mark, Dave.
10 100-yard games in his last 14 outings, trying to make it 11 for 15. But yeah, this he has definitely looked like he is gaining momentum as this one's going on. And it's just another example. He's a guy that needs it 20, 25 times. But he's got to be healthy.
Yeah, he's like that three-point shooter that misses the first 4. You keep on saying, just keep on shooting.
They're going to give it to him again. Let him keep shooting it. This time he gets tripped up. Maybe a yard on the play.
And one comment real quick. Did you see Brandon Cox that time? He let that clock go all the way down to 2 seconds. He's very conscious of that clock in the end zone, looking at it, using all the time he can get. Yeah, this is the big down. If you hold him here and it brings up 3rd and like 6 or more, then you can use that timeout. There's an audible on the line.
Taylor in motion. Handoff. Irons sees a hole. Gets it down to the 25-yard line. That'll bring up about a 3rd down and, let's say, 3 on the play. And doesn't look like Ole Miss is going to use a timeout here.
I think I would. I think I'd use the timeout there. You can see Ed Orgeron sitting there going, golly, should we call it? But watch Brandon Cox use that clock in your left-hand corner there. He's looking up, looks at it, watch it tick down.
Play clock at 6. Here's a toss sweep. Kenny Irons. I don't know if he got it. This is going to be very close. He needs to get it to about the 22.5-yard line. And we'll see where that spot is. He might be short. Ed Orgeron saying, let's get that timeout. But he may want to hold off and see what they do here.
Dave, the referee that marked it was that man right there. He came running in from the sideline. According to where our yellow line is, watch the yellow line. I don't think he gets it. I think they marked it where it was.
Wow, that was close. It might have, Ole Miss might have got a little bit of a break on that. That's about a half-yard shy. Ole Miss may want to use this timeout, and they do. They finally get the timeout, and they'll talk about it. And if you're Auburn, what do you do?
Well, if you're Auburn, you run the football. You're going to drive it right down there.
Out of the I formation, Irons the tailback, Stewart the fullback. It's the fullback, breaks a tackle, first down. Just went with the fullback, Carl Stewart. It was a little banged up, but Carl's done that time and time again today.
Yeah, you called it in the break. Protecting the ball. Look at this, right on the line. He just kind of found that hole just to the outside. Everybody was thinking, I think, quarterback sneak. And Stewart comes up, just breaks the tackle, and gets that first down.
And he has been successful in short yardage situations throughout the season. And that hurts, and the clock continues to move. A couple of timeouts still left for Ole Miss. We're at 90 seconds to go in this one. Ooh, a bobbled snap. The handoff gets to Irons.
Use those timeouts, Dave. Use those timeouts.
Yeah, I mean,
gosh knows.
2nd down and 8. And the clock under a minute. This time, Irons loses about 4 yards on the play. Greg Hardy came flying in.
That's why I would have called timeout last time. Now they call timeout. We'll take them to the locker room with 46 seconds left.
Well, it's 3rd down and 11. We got 46 seconds left. The Rebels have 1 timeout remaining.
One thing you don't do is pass the ball incomplete. Stops the clock. Run it.
Ball sweep. Kenny Irons runs hard, gets it down to the 13-yard line, and Ole Miss will use their timeout.
The thing that comes to my mind right now is, do you kick the football if you're Auburn?
Here's the good news. In terms of special teams, Auburn's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps the best in the kicking game when you consider Cody Bliss, Matt Clark kicking off, Cody Bliss punting, and John Vaughn, who was the all-time record holder for field goals made in a career. Today, Vaughn 2 out of 2.
I know he gets the ball up quickly, and it's not a distance kick where you have to that low trajectory. But if it gets blocked.
Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is even better.
Absolutely.
That gives that man a lot of confidence, knowing he can send John Vaughn out there to get it done. Vaughn came in 14 out of 17. He's perfect 3 out of 3 today. And that gives Auburn the 6-point advantage with 35 seconds left. Let's came out here and played their tails off.
They did. Did they miss those 6 players? No. Those 6 players didn't make a difference. In this football game, they played with spirit. They played with heart. Yes, they're on the lower side of the score. But my goodness, they're taking on a great Auburn team.
A high kickoff. Best one of the day for Matt Clark. And that will go for a touchback, and Ole Miss brings it out to the 20 with 30 seconds to go. And you got no timeouts left.
No, don't huddle. Get on the ball. Get up there and start running plays.
I have a feeling somebody will be hanging out around midfield. And the clock's already moved. Once again, it's second time today this has happened to Ole Miss. They don't realize the clock. It's already 10 seconds, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You gotta be kidding me.
14 seconds before they got the snap off, and that'll do it. They won't get everybody back to get this snap off. And Auburn will get out of here with a victory. 2-1, game over. And Tommy Tuberville's return to Oxford is successful. Auburn has now won 8 of their last 9 here at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. 2 good friends shaking hands on a classic SEC 23-17 win for the Tigers.